All right, so I wanted to go ahead and see if we can't figure this out. So we tried at the end of today, day 2, to possibly get this system health dashboard working. It's a project that I use in my class. It runs, it's always run, never had a problem till today. Then we had the problems. I'm curious to see if it's an operating system problem because we are using on this new computer, we're using a Raspberry Pi 4, and we're using the newest operating system from Raspberry. So we're using the Bullseye version of the operating system, and in the past I have always done this with the Buster version of the operating system. So my thinking is maybe I'd try it on the legacy version and see what happens. Okay, so the project that I want to do is create a system health dashboard, and I want to, this is my legacy board. So I went in, I burned a new SD card with the legacy operating system on it, and I got it up and running, and I want to just kind of start and see what happens. I'm going to go through this pretty quickly because I don't want to waste your time on the video, but I want to see if my thinking is going to hold true. I think there just may be something missing from the operating system, the new one. Like they've taken some stuff out. Some of the, maybe there's a legacy library that's missing that this relies upon, or that it, the new one requires a different format, and I think that was kind of what we were running into, some kind of a weird format issue. Something wasn't being sent over properly, I believe is what that was. So I want to just see if that is the case, right? So we're going to go ahead and do the project from start to finish, and I'm going to kind of go as quick as I can. So curl SUBS, initial state, Python. So okay, I think that's good. All right, so this is running their, or installing their ISS streamer on here, and it'll take a little while. It's got to do some stuff down here. So pip, if you get an error installing it, then we're going to use either pip. So pip should be there. Yeah, pip is there, 18 minor version 1. So it doesn't find the streamer, so it's going to install the streamer. So same kind of thing that we did to begin with, right? We were going to do that auto magic, and we're going to have it fire off a new board, right? So here's the board. So while we're doing this, let's go ahead and get rid of, like I have this Python stream example. Let me actually, I think, can I change? I think I can edit this somehow. Oh, maybe not. It's in the code. So, oh, edit titles. Nope. Let's just do this. Let's just go to settings. Oh, there we go. I'm just going to say original, so we know the difference. So the Python stream example original, and then we'll get a new one that'll punch the new one out. So then, do we set it automatically? Automagically, right? Is that what this? Automagically. Why? Can't talk today. Apologize. So we put it in the right place. We're going to use number 2, and then we're going to log in with our whatever we set our password as, username and password. I looked this up in my book earlier. Okay, getting example script all done. All right, and then we're not going to go look at the example. I should have already pulled my key. We're going to just run the example. Python is_example.py. So it ran. It's good. Let's refresh over here. So I'm hoping to see a third process show up here eventually, called Python Stream Example. And we should get a jump of numbers as well. Remember, it takes a couple minutes for that to get over here and get loaded properly. I had this issue last time. So I'm waiting. What I'm waiting for right now is this little piece here to launch that next process. Once it runs, we'll be in good shape. Or once it shows up. So we didn't get any errors. So now, I said I wasn't going to look, right? So now I feel like I need to. That seems odd. Yeah, that would not be. That would be why it's not working. There's nothing there to run. Weird. Let's rerun that. All right, so then here we want to do yes. There is fine. 2. I'm thinking it didn't give me that there was an error with the login, but I think there was. So now if we look, yeah, we got it now. And the code is there, so that's good. So I think, yeah, that was what's going on. I logged in incorrectly last time, or improperly. I didn't log in is what I didn't do. Now if I run it, so hopefully back over here, we should be looking for a new Python stream example. Again, hoping, oh, I've got 388 now, so I know it just popped, so it's just going to take a couple seconds for it to show up, because this was 340 something a minute ago. And that process shows, it shows like it takes 40. Oh, I wonder, this is the same bucket Yeah, so stream done. So this is, you can see this is different now. 6:10 p.m. to 8:24 p.m. So that's current timing. So the bucket number didn't change, but I changed that name thinking it was going to change that. It would give me a new bucket, and it didn't give me a new bucket because the bucket numbers are still the same. So this is where it put that information. So I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable because I saw that it jumped up about 40 events, and over here when we looked at the timeline is current to this evening, so I'm okay with that. All right, so I think I'm good with that. I've got the example run, and now I can work on to the psutils. So then from the command prompt, sudo pip install psutil. Yeah, see this didn't work on the last one, right? It said it was already there, and there was, right? So we are getting 5.9.1. So I think that's an OS thing. Like I think the library that's in the new one is not the same library that we use here. So I don't know. I'm hoping. We'll see how it goes. All right, so then now that we've got that installed, then we're going to cd to home/pi. And I did use pi as the user again because we know all these instructions are based on pi. So make dir pi health. Then we're going to cd to pi health. And then we are going to copy. We need to copy this flap. So we're gonna try this. Copy raw contents. We need to do a sudo nano, and this is called pi health. Health.pi should be blank. Paste anyway. Whoa. Okay, I went above. So here's here's the actual. Okay. So I'm going to leave. I'm not going to touch any of those things. We do need to copy over the key code again. So I'm going to delete that. I'm going to go, this is my account over here. I'm going to go to my account, go to my settings. And then from my settings, I'm going to copy the key. We're going to come back over here and paste the key in there. This new terminal works a whole lot better. So thanks for the suggestion earlier. So then the key's there. I think that's all we have to cover, all we have to change, right? I think that's it. If I go back over here, going to copy this over, you need to change the access key. That's it. The time between reads. So there's a time between reads somewhere. So it's going to be in the while true loop probably. I don't see it. Oh, minute between reads 1. That's going to be fine. We're good with that. All right, so, okay, I'm good. I'm going to do, I think I'm good. We're going to do Control-O, Enter, Control-X, and we're back at the main page. And then we should be able to run Python health.py. Pi health. All right, so we see it running. We are now hoping that we see a new We see some increased activity here. So 409, that's awesome. So we're making progress. What we don't have yet is a project on the shelf here. So, okay, so we are at a point where I finally got the Pi 3 performance to show up, right? So this is the dashboard that was created, right? And it's recording data every minute on my information here, right? So you can, there's not a lot of things going on. I'm not running a lot of stuff on this computer, so things aren't really changing, but over time we can get things to change. There's CPU, disk total, disk use, disk free, CPU usage, and so if I wanted to run something on there, I would probably see a little bit of a change to that. So I'm going to maybe put the dashboard there and bring up the CPU usage so you can see here in the middle. I want to show you one thing though. Actually going to have to cut this off for a second. Because I just chunked out probably 20 minutes of video as I was trying to figure out why the dashboard wasn't showing up on my initial state. And then I thought to myself that if you do this a bunch of times, when you run this script, right, the script is always going to have the same bucket number or the bucket key. And if you've deleted that, which I've deleted it multiple times, deleted that bucket from your shelf, it will not show that bucket anymore, regardless, even if you're pushing data to it, which I was pushing data, but it wasn't showing the bucket. So I changed the name of the bucket, of this bucket key here. All I did was change the bucket key to create a new bucket. And then when I reran this script, it now, the bucket exists, and you can see right there we got some changes to it. So we've got the bucket exists, and it started presenting data to the dashboard. Okay, so the only thing different between what we tried to do earlier today and what I've done right now is I am running on an older version of the operating system. All right, so I'm running on an older version of the operating system, the legacy version. So there's something about the PSUtils and the software that was designed for this project that works on the legacy that doesn't work on the newest version of the Raspberry Pi OS. Okay, so we actually solved both problems today, or this evening, that we had this afternoon. But I wanted you guys to be aware of it. I wanted you to see this happening. And we did get the dashboard running, so we can, these are two projects I think we could probably make happen, tomorrow if you wanted to, or the next day if we wanted to, or if you just, or you're satisfied seeing it here and seeing that what we worked through. I think both projects probably would have worked right out of the gate if we had run them on the legacy version. I don't think we would have had to change anything on either project to get them to function properly if we were running the legacy version of the software. Okay, so something to keep in mind for future reference. Cool. I hope that helps.